Okay, on the bench we have ZX Spectrum Plus 2. It's actually my brother-in-law's machine. He seen something on Facebook that had the Spectrum, thought, oh, I'm going to dig mine out and have a play on it. And he switched it on, and the keyboard's not working, and there's an issue with the power cable. So let's plug this in. You see it is powering up, but there's an issue when you wiggle the cable. You're not really seeing it on the LED. Give me 1 second. Right, got it up on the TV. You have to excuse the poor display. The TV really doesn't like RF. Now if I jiggle the power cable, you can see that it's clearly having an issue there, and as I say, the keyboard does absolutely nothing. So right, I think first thing we'll try and solve is the power issue. Could just be a dry solder joint on the jack connector. So we'll strip this down and have a look at that first. Right, let's get this open. The only work I've ever done on one of these was just to change the belt. On the tape deck. There's one screw missing. Screws are left in. I think that's them all. Okay, we've got 2 connectors under here. One for the tape deck, and that one looks like it's for the regulator. Then just the 2 ribbons for the keyboard. I'll just set that aside just now. And let's have a quick look, see what we can see. The ribbon for the keyboard, the connector on the motherboard there, it's certainly not sitting right. It's up at an angle. I don't know if that would cause any kind of connection issues. And I'm assuming that's not normal. Move the regulator and its heatsink out the way. I think that's all the screws. Or is it? Oh, not 1 watt. Right. Put that to the side. Right. Well, let's have a quick look at the solder joints on the back here. In fact, I think I'll put the scope in. Definitely looking a bit better. I'm just going to give that a quick test. TV back on. And let's plug it in. Bit of a jiggle. No, it's still doing it, so I think it's the contacts inside that's the problem. Give that a bit of a clean, some contact clean up. Have a nice stiff bristled brush here somewhere. There we go. Right, try that again. Yeah, there we go. Oh no, maybe not. it's the jack itself. Okay. Might be a case of having to try and replace that. Technically it looks fine. It's clearly not. I'm not really seeing anything in there. So what I'm going to do, rather than using the official power jack, I'm going to hook up. It's not plugged into anything yet. I'm going to hook up my bench power supply. That'll at least eliminate the problem being on the original power supply. Right, good to go. Power it for the bench power supply. We've got 9 volts, centre pin negative, and 2.1 amps, which is what the original supply says. Okay, it's come up okay. And if I give that a jiggle, I have no problems at all. I'll just let you see that if I can. Right, you should be able to see that now. And if I wiggle that round, it's not cutting out at all. So it's definitely the plug on the original supply that's causing that issue. So while I continue to work on this, I'll just use my bench supply and then I'll sort that out later. Probably just fit a new jack plug on the end of it. This is all a bit awkward. I've got to jump up and down. I'm having to actually film the TV screen. I don't have any way to plug that into my computer to make it easier. Right, get the keyboard out the chassis and we'll have a look at that. Everything here. We'll look at the connectors, and the ribbons actually look spot on. I can't see any issue there at all. Even on that one. Yeah, I mean they look fine. So I think we'll strip the keyboard down further. It's a bit dusty, but I mean really Is that going to stop all the keys working? I thought so. Right. Let's get further into this then. Just zoom back out. Right, well, there is a fair bit of dust and debris underneath those keys. All the keys will be taken through. I'll give them a good clean in the sink. Same thing once any plastic pieces have been removed. Yeah, they'll be cleaned in the sink as well. Right. Okay, let's start getting the back off this. Again, a little bit of dust on this, but actually looks in good condition. Yeah, I'm not seeing any issues there. I think that should work just fine. I'll set that aside just now. And these bars are for the larger keys. Right, okay, this will go through with the keys to get washed, and then we can start reassembly once everything's properly dried. Right, that's the keyboard fully reassembled and given a thorough clean and full stripped. Couldn't see any issues at all with with the membrane. It looks in perfect condition. But I gave that wipe down, gave the connections a clean, and just a cotton bud and a bit of warm water, then dried it off. So yeah, let's see if we can get this keyboard up and running. I'm just going to do it like this because I've got other things that we need to do to it, so I don't want to piece it all back together. Let's give this a try. This is still using the bench supply. Yep, that seems to have sorted that. What I'll do at the end, I'll run diagnostics so that we can do a full keyboard test. But I'm pretty confident that that'll run fine. Yeah. Now I also just unplug this just now. I replaced the end connector on the original power supply. So I'll give that a quick test while I'm here. Yeah. Make sure it's going to work fine. Right, just put a new jack on the end of the existing cable. Right, it's plugged in. Let's see what it does. No, it's still having a problem, and yet there's no problem at all. When I use one from a bench supply, I can jiggle that around, no problem. I can only assume that this jack's just not quite. Yeah, if I hold it in all the way, yeah, every now and again it's definitely losing connection, so it's not going to be tight enough. So I'll have to come up with a better solution for that. Right, I have another jack. I've just hooked up my bench supply, so let's see how this is. Yeah, that's it. I think it was just the centre, the hole in the centre was just too big on the first one that I used. This one's definitely a tighter fit, so I'll get that patched onto the original supply and that'll be that sorted. So really the next thing is recap the board and replacing the belts on the tape drive, giving the inside of the case a bit of a clean, give the board a clean, and hopefully this should be good to go. Right, that's the capacitor kit and the belt kit arrived. So first thing is we'll get these capacitors changed over. I'm not going to show the whole thing on video. We'll just do this first one here. Okay, just zoom in. And it sits there. Okay. Let's start with a little bit of flux. Let's use the manual solder sucker. May have to move that leg a little, it's kind of tight to the board. Bent pins can be a pain in the backside. Yeah. So just grip this for the back. Hopefully we can manoeuvre the legs through it. This first one. There we go. That's that one out. So that one was a 4.7 microfarad capacitor. Got the replacement here. I think I'm going to add a little bit of fresh solder there. And then I'm going to wick it away. Try and clean the hole out. Which isn't always easy on these because the solder tends to go right through to the other side, so it can be a little bit of a pain. So that one. Yeah, there's always one, isn't there? Add a little bit of flux. Side. And there we go. Both holes cleaned. it's clearly marked where positive side is, so our positive leg in here. Negative over this side. Then through. Stick a bit of blue tack over the top, hold it into position. Right, that's that one done. So it's a case of repeating that process for all the electrolytic caps on the board. So I'll come back once that's complete. Okay, that's all the old caps removed and all the new ones installed on the board. Double check the polarity just to be sure, and all's looking good. So we can now move on and get the tape deck, the belts replaced on that, and give it a general clean. Right, okay, so the board capacitor's done, the board's back in the chassis. Also replaced the 4 capacitors from the board, the tape deck. So that's all the caps done. So I'm going to start by removing these belts and replacing them with new ones. Hey, does that have to come off? I thought for a horrible minute I was going to take that off there. Okay, 2 new belts. It's over here. Smaller ones for the tape counter. Get this smaller one on. Give it a spin. Make sure it's in the groove first, of course. There we go. that's sitting fine, and the larger one, yeah, that's better tension. That other one was definitely past its best. Yeah, that seems to be fine. So give it a bit of a vacuum this side. That's a little dusty. So I put the computer all back together. Decided to give the drive a test. Press play, was fine, but rewind and fast forward, it just wasn't turning at all. So I've taken the drive out completely. Kind of glad I did. It's quite dirty in there. So I'll be able to give that a clean. But basically what's happening is, I'll zoom in a bit here. Right, so what's happening is when you press the play button, or what does happen when you press the play button, these contacts come together, the motor activates and it turns. Now the same should happen with fast forward and reverse, but if you actually look, not sure if you'll see it, but those contacts, they're not together, there's a gap there, so there's no contact being made. So that would seem like that's the only problem. I'm going to have to try and manipulate that so it's bent over slightly, so that when you press the button the two will meet and make contact. And just bend it ever so slightly. Now I can give this a test. I can put 5 volts into it. You have your, turn this way so I can see, you have your negative and your plus 5 volts, which is the third one along. I can just hook this up to the bench supply. If you're able to see that there, I just stuck a couple of component legs in the end. Allow me to clip the leads on. So positive, negative, yeah. I'll turn the supply on just to double check the voltage first. Okay, so 5 volts. Right, I've got 5 volts on the board. You should be able to see the LEDs lit up. So let's say if I press play, you can see it's turning away fine. Problem was a fast forward and rewind. Let's see if I've adjusted it enough. Nope, still no turning. But you'll know if I bring them together, it starts turning fine. Switch that off just now. And try adjusting that a little bit more. Put it back on, see if that's enough. Yep, that seems to have done the trick. one. So the fast forward's not working. And now there's the rewind now. It's so close. I mean, it's the tiniest amount. Give that a little bit more. That again. Okay, there's forward. Rewind. That's them both working fine. Obviously play will still work. Yep, happy with that. So I think all that should be left to do now is give it a clean and we can get it back in the chassis. This should allow me to give the heads a better clean as well, instead of having to blindly clean it with a cotton bud. Right, got the diagnostics card in, just run through a few tests. +2, so number 3. Yeah, I think my capture card's having a few issues and doesn't seem to like it much. It's fine and stable on the TV, but yeah, through the capture card it's not great. Right, looking at that, all the memories tested fine. I'm going to run through one of the other ones, which will have the keyboard test on it. and do a keyboard test. This won't test every key because it's a different keyboard. Yep, that seems fine. Okay, what do we test now? We'll do the system ULA test. Okay, and Z80. Okay, no problem there. And number 6. Right, I'm not really seeing any issues here. Going through those tests fine. The only thing really left to test is whether it loads up a game okay, so we'll do that next. Right, let's try and load a game. Well, clearly loaded fine. I'm not going to play much of this game because I don't have a clue. It was a favourite of my wife's back in the day. I think on the MSX, I think she played it on. Yeah, alright, let's redefine some keys. So, up, down, left, right, file, mode, and abort, pause, okay, and file to start. That's it, absolutely no clue what I'm doing here. Alright, so they try and break through. I'm assuming you have to rebuild the defences. I'd say that's about enough of that for me. But you definitely say it's working fine. Yeah, I've just got a wee crappy speaker hooked up. Audio. Right, okay. All that's really left to do then is give it Get a bit of a wipe over on the outer case, and I can get it back to the brother-in-law. I'll be able to finally have a wee shot. Right, if you liked this video, please click the like button. If you want to see more like it, then please subscribe. Click the bell notification. You'll be notified any time that I upload a video. Thanks for watching. Cheers.